Welcome to episode 159.
Yay.
I have a hair in my face now. Of the Modern Skein podcast. My name is Sharon Graff, and I am the owner of the Modern Skein, which is a yarn shop here in Conroe, Texas.
And I am Cathy, and we're still confused about what my position is, so I'm the floater.
Well, you're the diving knitter.
I'm the diving knitter, yes, you know. On Instagram and in Ravelry.
And in real life.
And in real life. So, there we are.
So, as you might notice, we're both wearing some FOs.
FOs. We have them.
Why don't you go first?
Okay, so this is my potato vodka cardigan by Thea Colman, and I'm really excited. It is a fitted cardigan. I made the buttonholes. I have not yet decided on my buttons. I'm torn between either doing like a brown tone wooden button or possibly a turquoise painted wooden button.
Yeah.
So if y'all want to chime in,
yeah,
I'll take your opinions into consideration. It doesn't mean I'm going to follow anything because, you know, I'm known for breaking the rules every now and then. Not very often, though. So, yeah, let me know what you think, if I should go with the turquoise or with the brown.
Fabulous. I kind of lean towards brown, but like a walnut brown.
Yes,
like a dark brown.
Definitely it would have to be a dark
brown.
Not
a light brown.
No, not light.
That's my opinion. Okay, so I have a finished object. Ta-da!
And it looks out of the way.
Okay,
here.
So it looks pointy here because over the weekend I knotted it up like this because I was wearing it over a dress.
Right, and it looks so cute over your dress too, by the way.
So I just did that.
Yes.
It's cute. So that's why I need to steam that out.
Right.
But this is the outline raglan by Jessie Maed. You can see my drop stitch.
Oh, I love it.
Design here. I did knit it longer. I think by about 3.5, 4 inches actually than what she says. But you also get to a point where, I mean, you can't knit it too much longer or you're gonna make a weird point.
Yeah, right. I don't think we want that.
No.
Although I have to say that when you were wearing it tied, it looked so cute.
Yeah.
And it really showed off, I think, the drop stitch detail as well. So.
And it's, so it's oversized. I knit, what size did I knit? Second or third? I may have knit the third size.
And now we're going to
disrobe
because people, it was almost 90 degrees yesterday.
Perfect.
So
I love this kind of weather.
It's already, we went straight into summer just about.
I have to strip to show a new thing, but I'm still going to talk about this. So I used Undine from Ritual Dyes, the Undine DK in Natural. I did the rolled cuff option in the pattern, or I guess it's not really a rolled cuff, it's just a folded cuff, which basically just means I knit my sleeve longer
and folded
it up.
Right.
Rocket science. I did not do, she gives you instructions if you find the neckline too wide to quote unquote, and I think what she calls it is stabilizing the neck, which is basically knitting one round and binding off just to tighten it up or picking up those stitches. You could also do an I-cord. It's supposed to be loose and oversized, like an oversized sweatshirt, so this doesn't bother me.
No.
I think it would be weird if it was tight.
No, I think that neckline definitely suits the sweater for sure.
Love it. Like I said, just need to steam that wrinkle back out or just wear it knotted all the time, which is fine.
There you go.
So I have this as a finished object.
Okay, so we each have one finished object so far.
Oh, I have
another one.
That's okay, I do too.
You're gonna.
I'm gonna put it
You're
on.
gonna put it on because.
Ta-da! All right. So it just looks so cozy on.
Oh, it really does. It really. I mean, it was cute.
So this is my balloon sweater by Petite Knit.
Love it. Love it.
So good. So there is one modification that I made to it unintentionally.
Unintentionally, I like those kind of modifications. Sometimes they just happen.
Yeah, they do. So it's a balloon sleeve, so it's supposed to be a wide sleeve. It's supposed to actually be quite a bit wider than this. So when she has you pick up for your sleeve, I believe for my size, it was close to, I've got mohair fuzz or something now in my eye.
I think you got it.
Okay. Hazards of yarn shop.
Yeah.
So I was supposed to pick up somewhere around like 80 something, like 78 or 80
Okay.
something stitches for my size, following her recipe for picking up for the rows, which is like a 2 out of every 3, something
Okay.
like that.
Usually
Some form of
2 to
that.
3 or 3 to 4 and
Something like that. So I did that, and my row gauge is different than what she called for in the pattern. So I only ended up with like 62 stitches.
Oh, that's okay.
And so I was a little worried, but I knit a little bit, tried it on, and I was like, well, it's not tight, so, and I'm not doing decreases, obviously. So I just left it, made a note, made sure I picked up the same amount of stitches for the second sleeve. I just did that. So technically, I had to then change the decrease rate. I think it was like supposed to be something around like knit 8 and then decrease. I just like skipped a couple rows and did the knit 6, I think, and decrease something. Anyway, I got down to the right amount of stitches for the cuff.
Okay.
However I did that. So you can see the cuff is snug, and then this kind of just...
I was going to say, I don't know if the camera can kind of pick up. So there's just a few rows right here before the ribbing on the cuff where the decreases are done to sort of start bringing it in.
So it's not like a 1 row decrease. It's over
No,
like
it's
3 or
it's-
4 rows.
I would
but-
say it looks like 3 or 4 to me.
Yeah, but how I like to wear my sweaters anyway. So it looks cute.
I like it.
I love it. So the yarn is Red Stag Fibre Dachas sock in Her Majesty's Navy, and it's since been discontinued. Shibui Silk Cloud in the colorway Noire, which is like a deep, dark navy black.
Would there be something similar in the mohair and the tin silk mohair?
Yes.
Possibly the black or the, what is it, Sailor in the Dark or?
No, they don't make that
No,
in mohair.
okay.
The deepest one is going to be deep marine. It's going to be just a
Okay.
smidge bluer, but if you do a dark, if you did like Sailor in the Dark or Her
Yeah.
Majesty's Navy with that,
Then it would be
that would
very
be
similar.
great.
Okay.
Yeah, so that
Okay.
would be a great option. I don't know if she does it. It'd be slightly different, but Moondrake has a base called Kinu Momo, which we're gonna have at LYS Day. Just saying, which is almost identical to Shibui.
Okay.
It is identical. But she does a colorway called Slate, and it's a little more gray, but
Okay.
it's dark. That would be a good one to do if you want a dark sweater.
Right.
Not everybody does. I do, because I love a good dark navy sweater. So,
All right.
as I'm stripping out. Okay, what's your
Okay.
other finished object?
I have, oh, y'all are
Look
going to be
at
so
you.
proud of me. Well, I don't know if you are or not, but I am. I finished my Torrin scarflet, shawl, whatever you want to call it. It is finally complete. And I learned so much knitting this. Actually, the actual knitting of it was very enjoyable. I like the dip stitch pattern. I think it's going to make a very cute accessory. I intend it to be more of a cow-like
Yeah.
object. So anyway, it's done. I'm pleased with it. love the yarn, love the colors. This
Yeah.
was a special gift from India Untangled, from Josh and Sharon from last year. And so I was looking for a once gained project to really be able to show it off. And I think this is perfect.
Yeah. No, it's great.
So FO number 2 for me.
So that's a great idea for a once gain project pattern for something new. I'm sorry, I'm being distracted by
All the fuzzies floating around here.
something.
Do you have another FO?
No.
I do.
Okay.
I have a feeling you're going to outdo me on whips, so I've got to take advantage of this
Okay,
while I
there you
can. As y'all may know, if you were watching the podcast last time, I made my Thru lines shawl a little bit smaller than specified in the pattern. I did it intentionally because this is a lightweight, light colored yarn, and so I wanted something to be just more of an accessory piece and not so much a warmth piece. So my thinking is that, and I'm not very good at styling, I always need some help, but just a little something to put around my neck to kind of show off. But I am happy with this. And this is another one of those projects that was fun to work on.
Yeah.
And it seemed to go quickly, and I think because of the changes, so it never got boring. I reduced it in size because that was the size I wanted. It had nothing to do with the pattern, with lack of yarn or anything like that. I just kind of chose the measurement that I wanted it to be.
It's a nice size.
And did it that way. So anyway, so there is my Thru lines.
Fabulous.
It is knit in red Stag Fibre Cottage sock, in the colorway Vann and the colorway Birch, and Spincycle Dyed in the wool in Space Oddity.
So you can see there the Space Oddity kind of has the pinky coral, and then it fades into grays and then teals.
And down to
Very
almost indiscernible.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that. It makes it fun.
Yeah.
So
Cute.
that's FO number 3 for me.
Fabulous.
Yay.
I guess I can borrow your term, an NFO.
Yes, let's do NFOs
Okay.
because I happen to have an NFO.
Oh. Okay, so do I. If I can get it sorted here. I really did think for a hot minute yesterday that I would get it done, and then I was like, who am I kidding? So,
Same with mine, but you are so close.
I am
So I
close.
think it definitely qualifies as an NFO.
It does.
Look at it. Oh.
So this is my Tropez, which is a crocheted pullover. It is seamed on one side. It's not yet here. Woo.
Well, you seam it after you finish the sleeve,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah. So I still have the sleeve to go. So I need like 50 rows, 53 rows, and I've only got 30 something. So I need to finish that sleeve, do the edging and seam it, and then I have to do some edging on the sleeves and the body.
Okay.
And then it will be done. I did my neckband edging already.
Is it the same edging?
Basically,
Similar?
I
'Cause
mean,
that's
I
really
glanced
cute. I really
at
like
it.
the way that looks.
Single crochet.
Just single crochet.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes the
It's
simplest things are the best.
Super cute. So, yeah, I'm loving this. This is, like I said, the Tropez, or no, I want to say Tropez because that's, very tropical. I think it's just called the Tropez sweater by Susanne Muller. And this is a crocheted cardigan.
It is not a cardigan. We're having all kinds of
It's a
issues
Monday.
today. It
It's a
is
Monday.
definitely a Monday.
So this is a crocheted sweater top, and really, really fun. I would say if you are moderately adventurous in your crochet and you can do a single crochet and a double crochet, you can do this.
I really want to make one now.
So cute.
It
It
just-
goes fast because basically, well, what she calls a granny stitch, which is double crochet. So it goes super quick. And then the yarn I'm using is the Undine in the fingering weight in the colorway Jewelweed, which we have in stock.
Yay.
I am knitting the size 2. Yes, I'm knitting the size 2. I wanted a little bit of positive ease, but only about like 2-ish inches of positive ease. So it's not going to be crazy. But I did that. I kind of picked it on purpose because cotton will grow.
Will grow, definitely.
And
will
so
grow.
I figured at the end of the day, I would like more positive ease, but this is also it's crochet, so it uses a lot of yarn. I think it'll basically use up for my size right at 4 skeins. So at the end of the day, it's going to have length and heft and everything else. So it's going to grow, not just with blocking, but just with daily wear.
Right.
So that's one reason why I went ahead and picked something with a little bit less positive ease at the beginning to allow that stretch and growth and to not end up with a sack that I didn't want, but to actually end up with a garment that I enjoy.
See, I almost did the same thing with the potato vodka cardigan because I know that I want to put buttons on it, but I also know the way I wear my cardigans, and I will not be wearing it buttoned 98% of the time. And so I didn't want it to the point where if I wore it open, it was going to flop open.
Yeah.
I wanted it more where it would hang. It has enough stretch, and it's made to be fitted. So it has enough stretch that when I button it, it's going to be a fitted sweater, but not so much ease that when I wear it open, it will just drape nicely.
Yeah, definitely.
So something to take into consideration. My NFO is an old whip. It's not the oldest whip I have, but it is an older whip. Okay. I think when I was a guest on the podcast back in November, back at the old location, I was working on this. This is Mabel's sweater by Joji Locatelli. And it was one of those projects that sort of got put on the back burner for no good reason other than the fact that I just started working on other things. So I have one sleeve left to do. The neckline is finished. That's it. Here's the one sleeve that is finished. So if I get this second sleeve finished, it's done.
Yeah.
This is done in Yorkshire sport weight in Welsh slate because it is a combination of 1x1 rib and half fisherman's rib. It is very squishy.
Yes.
It's very, very squishy. And it's going to be very, very warm, although it's not heavy.
No, it's not a heavy sweater. But you're right. It's kind of squishy, cozy feeling.
Yes. So this is for those days in the winter when it starts to get a little bit of chill in the air. Or, Connie, if you're watching, I can layer it over several things. But I'm really excited about this. So next podcast, I intend to be wearing this as an FO.
Okay.
So
fabulous. Well, with just one sleeve.
Yeah, just one sleeve. And really with the repeat in the stitches, it really goes pretty fast. So, yeah. So
that's nice.
There I am. That is the Mabel sweater by Joji Locatelli.
So I realized there are 2 projects that I did not bring, but I will mention them honorably. Real quick.
in memoriam? No, not in memoriam, because that would mean they were going away.
They're not going away. They didn't have a lot of time invested into them this week.
I have 2 at home that I didn't invest any time in, so I'm not even going to mention them because I'm embarrassed.
Well, I feel like I have to mention one. It's my Thru lines because.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it hasn't had any love.
Okay.
It's not. I was trying to finish. I wanted to finish the 2 sweaters I showed you.
Right.
And then worked on my crochet cardigan, and then I cast on a couple things, which we'll talk about in a minute.
Okay.
But also, we've done so much housework. Like it's spring cleaning, house cleaning, house maintenance time of year for us.
That's right. We only get 1 week, folks, where it's where it's like decent weather. It's not too cold. It's not too hot. It's not pouring down rain, and this is kind of been the week. I did a lot of mine yesterday.
Yeah. And so, like, I'm a fit person, I think reasonably fit. I work out 3 to 5 days a week. I am fairly strong. Pressure washing takes it out of you, and gardening and painting. And yeah, so like I've sat on the couch at night and just stared at the TV and done nothing.
Now you understand me after 8 p.m. Okay?
But it's more so, it's like my hands just ache. They're not hurting or anything, but it's like the thought of picking up
anything that you have to hold on to.
So
you know you've done too much when you can't pick up a fork to eat, okay?
No, I don't. It's not that bad. I can eat. Trust me. I can eat. So anyway, so I haven't had as much knitting time, crocheting time as I was hoping to have.
Right.
Do I ever have as much as I'm hoping to have? No,
it doesn't matter. I thought from the last podcast, I thought, 2 weeks, I can get all of this stuff done.
Yeah.
Nope, didn't happen.
No.
Didn't happen.
Life, work, all the things.
Anyway,
things. Through lines and the Kyler shawl won't be gone for forever. They're in my bag to be worked on this week. But hopefully you'll see them next episode.
But
What?
temptation strikes.
Oh, yeah.
And there are all of the...
Oh, we're not going to talk. I mean, we're going to talk about it.
Oh, we're not there yet?
I know, we can talk about it.
Because
Ugh.
I went down the rabbit hole a few days ago and picked 3 patterns, and I'm like, I want to cast every one of them on.
Oh, 100%. Well, and that's why I'm going to talk about this.
Okay.
This is all secret. As you know, we have our cardigan along going on.
Yes.
As you may know. Hopefully you do. And if you've watched a few episodes back, you know I had a struggle with a pattern and yarn, and it's fine. So I've been contemplating, I wanted to do, because I want a cardigan,
Right.
but I have a couple ideas of cardigans I want to knit and cardigans that I want to wear, and they don't mesh.
I hate it when that happens.
And then Andrea Mowry came out with her DRK Everyday Cardigan, which at first I was like, ew. And then I looked at it again, and I was like, And then I looked at it some more, I'm like, that's actually what I'm looking for.
Uh-huh.
And then
sometimes a pattern just takes a second look.
It does.
And sometimes my first impression, I thought it was a tight turtleneck when I first saw it. And I can't do anything like that.
Not.
And then I watched, I think it was on her podcast, where she showed, no, it's supposed to be just a stand-up collar so that it's away from your throat and all. And I'm like, oh, well, that kind of changes my opinion of the whole thing.
So then I was like, okay, I think I want to do the DRK Everyday Cardigan. But then I was having serious, I don't know what yarn to use because, all this yarn, and I haven't a yarn to use. All the clothes in your closet, you've got
First
nothing to
world
wear,
problems.
right? And so it's a sport weight cardigan, in case you don't know. And so I have at my disposal lots of beautiful sport weight yarns. Andora, for solid colors. That's
Right.
what I'm thinking. Because it's like, for 3/4 of a second, I did think I could make a Stay Ready cardigan. Like the whole thing out of Stay Ready. And then I was like,
Okay.
that's going to be ridiculously expensive and bougie, and no. No.
And no.
And just no.
But it would be pretty.
It would be gorgeous.
There's no way around that.
Did I do anything less bougie? No. I'm about to show you. Okay. So just let me be clear.
Here we are.
So I had in my stash Spincycle Wilder. So if you're not familiar with Wilder is a base that
Don't
they
we
put
have
out.
this right here?
Yeah.
Let's
You can
just
show
show
it
it right now.
So Wilder is a base that the ladies over at Spincycle have made up. There's 2 versions. There is a light gray and a dark gray.
And this is the dark gray.
This is dark gray. And it's Rambouillet? Is it 100% Rambouillet?
No, it just says American wool.
It's American wool. So
it may be a combination.
It is a combination. If I remember correctly, Wilder is Rambouillet and
Feels
Cormo? Or Rambouillet and Targhee. It's one of those. Rambouillet and Cormo, Rambouillet and Targhee. Anyway, it's custom milled for them, and they sell it off and on throughout the year to us wholesalers. And a while back when we'd gotten a batch, I had snagged a couple skeins in both the light and the dark. And so I was going through my stash and I was like, oh, it's so spongy is the only word I can come up with it.
That is an excellent.
It's spongy.
It is.
And soft. Spongy and soft.
It's very soft.
And I think that's because of the Targhee. But anyway, so I had enough to get started, but I did not have enough for this whole sweater. So then I was on Spincycle because I was placing another order, la. We'll talk about that in a minute. And I saw they had more in stock. So I snagged a whole bunch, not just for me, but also for you guys. So if you need to pause this and go buy Spincycle Wilder on our website, hopefully it's still there.
Right.
You can do that.
Spincycle goes fast around here.
It's so fast. So anyway, it's a sport weight yarn. It's fabulous.
So show us.
So I have the start. Of course, I'm going to do this.
And it's looking so good.
So I don't have a ton to show you, but there's my start.
I like it.
It's so cute. So really nice, and this is one reason why I really like this. You have these beautiful raglan details. You can see here. Really nice shaping.
This yarn, though, on this stand-up collar is perfect.
I mean,
perfect.
Look at it.
Yes.
I have already folded it down and seamed it because I just couldn't stand it. It's so cute.
I love it.
It's worth knitting, ribbing for like 8 inches. It's worth it for this collar. Well, I really did think about.
I really do think that's a very wise choice. I really like it. It gives the collar the structure it needs, but it's not stiff.
It's not stiff. No, it's
not
very
stiff and heavy and
and of course there'll be a
anything.
neckband that I'll put on either side too. And I will put buttons. I don't know what kind of buttons yet, but I will put buttons.
Buttons to me always have to wait till the object's finished.
Yes.
I know that that's probably not the wise way to do it because you don't know what size to make your buttonholes. But honestly,
Sorry, I just had a thought.
I kind of figure out the size of the button I want, make my buttonholes accordingly, and then go shop for buttons.
Well, yeah,
in that size.
I just had an idea. I don't know if we're supposed to say it.
Oh,
But I might be at Rhinebeck again this year.
oh,
And there's the button lady. So if you don't know about the button lady,
no.
Okay.
But I'm excited about the button lady.
at Rhinebeck, somebody told me this. She's like, going to Rhinebeck, and I'm like, you have to go to the button lady. I'm like, what? It's like it's a drug deal at the button lady.
Button lady.
So in one of
She's
the barns.
in the corner with a trench coat.
No, she's in the upstairs of the barn that
Okay.
you can walk. I don't know what barn this is, but it's like, I think big and white, and like you can walk downstairs, or you can go, it's like half into the hill, or you can walk into the upstairs, or you can take stairs inside.
Okay.
But the upstairs part, that's where the button lady was. And apparently she only vends it like Rhinebeck.
Okay.
Like you can't call her, you can't do anything. And she just has probably legit like 1 million buttons.
Well, I just may have to send you with a list.
Yeah.
I need a button like this and this size, like this
And she
and
has
this
them,
size.
and they're not very expensive. So I mean, like you could get like a whole thing of buttons for like $5. You know.
But she evidently makes these buttons.
No,
which,
she like apparently
sources them.
Like I guess thrifts for buttons or something.
Oh,
I'm not entirely sure.
Oh, okay.
So if
That's
someone
even better,
with
'cause I
more knowledge
love-
about the button lady knows, you can chime in. This was last year was my
Please.
first experience with the button lady. But I was thinking like some almost like
Yes.
pearlized looking buttons.
Yes.
Or maybe even like a ceramic button. That could be really
I think
cool.
that would really set that yarn off beautifully.
So anyway, Spincycle Wilder, DRK Everyday Cardigan, and this is what I'm making for my cardigan along.
Okay, all right. Guess what I made for the cardigan along?
The
Potato vodka cardigan.
Yes, for sure. So that is that. What new cast on do you have?
Okay, so as I said, I kind of went down the rabbit hole, and I'm going to put the enabling label on Sharon, but actually I found out it belongs to a customer here at the shop that started this. But I
Now
don't
I'm
know.
confused.
Well, that's okay. We'll unconfuse you in just a minute. Let me back up a little bit. About a year and a half or 2 years ago, I saw a person on television wearing a sweater, and it was very similar to one I had in high school. Yes, they had high school back in my day. And it was my favorite sweater back then. I mean, I can remember, I can even just know how I felt wearing it. And so this was back in the late 60s. But I liked, it's a classic pattern. It's a classic cabled pattern.
So 30 years
and
ago.
I went, 30 years ago? No, honey, it's more like 50, okay? But that's okay. We're all right. I went on Ravelry and I hunted and I couldn't find it. It's like, well, it's close, but not exactly. And I had just about decided that I was just going to have to swatch it myself, figure out how many, the stitches and some things, and sort of, I guess, meld it into a toaster or something like that so that I could come up with the sweater. Well, I found it, and I cast it on, and my gauge is perfect.
Nice.
And this is the Echo T, EKKO, and you're going to have to put in the show notes the designer. I had it in my notes, but I left my phone clear across the shop.
It's the guy, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I don't remember his name. I want to say
But
Martin, but
basically, it's a cable separated with just a row of stockinette, and I don't know if this may not be enough for you to see, but I'm doing it in Yorkshire fingering in the antique leather colorway, and it's perfect. It's exactly what I wanted. So I'm really excited about this. Although, why in the world I need another fingering weight? But hey, what the heck?
well, because it's going to
Okay.
be more like a T.
It is a T. It is a
Which is
T.
nice.
But the great thing about this is because it is a T, it's a raglan T. I think after I knit the first one, I might kind of fudge around and knit a second one with long sleeves and maybe
Oh,
a little
yeah.
bit heavier weight yarn.
Yeah.
We'll see. But that is my new cast on. And there's Sarah. Hi. She's been very talkative this morning.
Yeah. But now that she's on camera, she's like, I'm
Yeah, she's like, no, I'm going to hide my face.
Yeah.
So what did you cast on, Sharon?
So, okay. How did this even get started? So, I believe, and I could be misremembering, but I believe what happened is we had a customer in the store. We were looking at patterns for something completely different. And I think what we were doing, because it was two different customers. One was looking for a pattern to use some dream state, but didn't want an accessory item. And so I was looking
Okay.
for like tees and shirts and stuff like that.
Okay.
And somehow something else popped up. But I clicked on the designer. It's Brienne Arlene. And I've talked about her on the live on a couple of patterns, like the sisterhood cowl and things like that. Well, then this pops up. And of course now now I remember the name. I was like, so this popped up and we were all like, ooh, right, Cerber? And
You really ought to be in the shop sometimes because it really does happen.
It
There's
does
a whole group
happen.
around the table and all of a sudden there's this joyous chorus of, ooh.
and so it's called the Kindred. Just the Kindred.
Okay.
And it's by Brianna Arlene. And it is a DK weight colorwork t-shirt. Super cute. I decided, and this other customer decided, to use Spincycle for the contrast, and then just a DK for, your background color. And I just had to cast on because I had 2 skeins, which you need 3 because I can't read.
Right, I remember that
can't
discussion.
Math. I sent a customer into a full panic because
Right.
And then sorry. Yeah, apparently I can't math without caffeination. So anyway, I have 2 skeins of lapis. I'm making it work. I'm changing the pattern just ever so slightly of when I'm using color work and when I'm not. Can I show this? Wow.
Well, I don't think you're supposed to move. You have a cat in your lap,
Yeah,
and
right?
there's rules about
Rules.
that.
So I have started, and I went with low contrast, and I love it. So, again, low contrast, a little hard to see, but this is my Kindred by Brianne Moody, and you can kind of see a little bit over here. There you go.
That shows
That
up
one
much
pops.
better on the camera because
Yeah.
yes,
It's a little bit smoothed out.
It is gorgeous in person.
So I had in my stash a ton of this Hairsville Designs nightshades. This is the color that is the black with the blue, obviously, because that's what I roll with. And so I've got, I don't know, like 6 skeins of that. And then, like I said, 2 skeins of lapis. And this batch of lapis is particularly bright, which is fun.
Well, I think it's going to be perfect in this sweater
Yes.
too.
And this is Dream State.
Or tea, or
It's a tea. but
whatever we're calling it.
I'm super excited about it. Like I said, it's fabulous. She has great patterns, by the way. The Sisterhood cowl, and then there's the paintbrush tank that I showed on the live.
And I really like that
That's
one.
really
It was
cute.
funny because I had just told Sharon, I don't like flowery colored work. And she says, oh, but look at this. And I said, oh, I like that. She says, it's flowers.
That's
and I
flowers.
said, but it's not like cabbage roses. I really like that
And
one.
that's what I like about this. This pattern isn't flowery. It's more geometric.
Yes,
in
yes.
its
And I think
color work.
the same with the other one. It's almost it's a geometric or a well, Suri's
Sorry.
helping with the yarn here.
And then she just got all the yarn dumped on
Right.
her head because she was
So.
pulling on it. Anyway, it's fine.
It's graphic. Mm-hmm. It's more graphic than
Yes.
trying to be like a realistic flower, I
Correct.
guess, maybe, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
And yet you know it's a flower. I mean,
Well,
it's not abstract.
I guess I prefer a more, I guess like you said, graphic, geometric kind of design in my color work versus lacy, florally, foo-foo-y.
Well, because as we were talking in the last episode, your style.
Yes.
I think it was the last episode,
Probably.
one of the episodes. It's all about what suits your style. Now, if you like the flowery stuff, I say go for it because
Oh,
there
yeah.
are some gorgeous
Absolutely.
patterns out there.
Yeah.
There are some that I would love to knit. I wish I had somebody to knit them for.
That's the thing. See, I love knitting. Weirdly enough, the super flowery, intricate color work, all that
Oh,
kind of
I do
stuff.
too.
Never wear it.
No.
So I don't knit it hardly ever, except for occasional store sample or something like that. Same with lace. I don't like to wear lace. Like,
Oh, now see, I'm the opposite.
Okay.
I do.
everyone and their brother knits a love note.
Guilty. Done it. Been there.
If you love that, I will sell you yarn all day long for it. Me personally, bleh.
However, you can also do the love note without the lace if you really kind of like the fit and the look of the sweater.
I mean, yes, you can.
Just keep it in stockinette.
Yes. I don't think that would
It
be
kind
a
of defeats the purpose.
flattering sweater for most people. But anyway, so that's the thing. People are like, oh, don't you just love this? I can love something because I see that you love it. Yes, that's that's going to be so fun. And that's going to be,
Right.
now I will give you my honest opinion. I'm like, I don't know that you should use those two together. But, like, if you,
Just
I've had
because it's not your style does not mean that it's not somebody else's style.
correct. And I've had people like, oh, well, if you wouldn't knit this, then I shouldn't knit this. And that's not necessarily the case.
No,
I mean, unless
no.
you have the same style as me. But, like, if there's something you want to knit it. I
Right.
mean, I will tell you if, you know, we've had a lot of people complain about that pattern. Maybe that pattern, it wasn't tech edited or something like that.
Yeah.
You're like, I'll give you that kind of stuff. But the other stuff is all my personal opinion. That
Right. And
Take it or
what
leave it.
suits one doesn't suit.
Exactly.
Sharon and I we probably have an 85 to 90% lane that we both agree on.
Yeah.
But there's that other 10 to 15% where it's like she's yay and I'm like no way,
See,
and I'm like yay and she's like why?
well, it's like potato vodka's not my thing,
No, and I loved it.
and that's great.
So
So yeah,
you do you.
exactly. I don't really have any other.
Well, I swatched for 2 other projects, but I wasn't just going to drag my swatches. Although I will say this, this was funny. Let's talk about swatching for just a minute. I know okay, this is fingering weight. It is on a size US 4 needle in Yorkshire fingering. I have knit with Yorkshire fingering on a US 4, stockinette. I thought, I can't get gauge on that. So I first swatched it on a 2.5 because of the gauge.
Yeah, because the gauge that you were
Oh,
knitting.
no, I was so far off, it wasn't even funny. So I sort of slept on it, and I thought, okay, let me go back to the 4, do the pattern. And it's because the patterning in here that makes it a higher stitch count gauge than my just plain stockinette.
Yeah.
It's the fabric. I was so determined that I didn't want a really dense fabric, and the fabric's perfect.
Yeah.
That said, when I did the second swatch on the 4, I thought, okay, I normally do my swatches with about 40 stitches. That's just me. I like to have enough wiggle room to really check it out and measure it in different places. Well, the cast on for this in my size was 54 stitches.
Oh.
I'm like, that's not that many more.
Yeah.
I think I'll just go ahead and cast on, see if I don't like it. Okay, so I've got a few more stitches on here than I normally do.
Yeah.
I like it, so I'm started.
Fabulous.
So
Yeah.
there's always that.
Absolutely.
Okay, ma'am.
I know. I'm thinking that we can already move on to what's new.
I think so.
And series on
I
our way
spent
back.
so much time finishing up all my FOs that I don't have a lot of other objects. And Suri's just determined that
Show
she's
your
going to
butt.
show everything that she has here. I don't know why you are so determined.
Hello.
Oh, that was a purr. That was
So
a
nice.
double purr. She's not going to do it now.
I put her up to the microphone to give you a little purring ASMR or whatever it is. And yeah, she was like, no.
No, not going to do that.
I don't do that.
All right.
So,
Where do you want to start here,
well,
ma'am?
I'll start first off with a few accessory items. So,
Oh, okay.
we have been pretty much fully restocked on all of our Chowgu needles, some of our Likey needles, and cords, fixed, all that sort of stuff. Also, a lot of our crochet hooks, and we'll show that in a second. But we also got back in after a while without these sock blockers. So
And
these,
I really like those.
even if you're not big on blocking your socks, this is great because they're wire edges to dry your socks when you wash
Yes.
them. Because they dry so much faster, especially then you can, because they have a hanger, you can hang them in front of a fan and they'll dry even faster. Or you can just use them to take cute pictures of your socks.
Right.
So they come in 3 sizes, small, medium, and large. And they actually had a price reduction. I know. I like triple checked. I was like, wow. So
Okay.
they're only $19 now.
And I really like those kind for just what you said, because of just the wire shape. It lets the air flow, and the socks do dry very fast.
We got back in the rainbow knit blockers and the original. These have a new plastic-free packaging. I say plastic-free, I mean this part. They're not wrapped in like cellophane plastic, so they just have like a paper cardboard sleeve. But these are the pin style combs, which we love here.
Oh, I just can't live without mine. I use mine almost exclusively. I haven't used T-pins in a long time. And I even use these with blocking wires on lace, because it's perfect. You run that little lace rod up through your lace work, and then you just use this to anchor the rod, and perfect. So
it's fabulous.
If something were to happen to mine, I think I would have to do an emergency run and immediately replace them.
Oh yeah. So restocked our prim hooks. So these are the ergonomics plastic handles. These are really nice on your hands. I like those. We've pretty much fully restocked the Knit Pro, which this is the former
Knitter's Pride.
Knitter's Pride, yeah.
Yes.
Just rebranded to Knit Pro. Again, plastic-free packaging now, which is nice. So this is the Zings. These are one of the cheapest ones. These are like mostly $4 hooks until you get to the largest sizes. And this has been a while, but we got back these. So these are, they call them aluminum, but it's the soft handle.
The soft grip handle.
The soft grip handle, so it's like a rubberized handle. But these...
That's the hook I'm using to work on my limonada.
Okay, so I don't know if you can see this, but the prim hook has a point. These are very round.
It's rounded.
I don't know if you can really see that, but very rounded. And the Knit Pros are kind of in between. They're a little round, or sorry, the Zings are a little bit round, but as you get to the larger sizes, they're a little more pointy. There's benefits to all. I think it boils down to preference and your yarn. Like I'm using one of my old, I think this is like a Susan Bates for my crochet, but this would be very comparable to the Zing. For my crochet project, because when I used the prim, my gauge changed. I think it's a difference between the metal and the plastic on the plant-based yarn.
I love my prim hooks, but my other issue, if you want to call it that, with the prim hooks is they don't come in every available size.
Yes.
And
they are limited.
And I agree, different yarns. When I first started working on my limonada, I tried 3 different hooks before I was happy with the way that it was flowing, and ended up with that
I will say
the Knit Pro with the cushion handle.
I prefer the prims with wool yarns. I prefer basically the Zings
with the cotton.
With cotton, linen, plant-based yarns. That's what works for me. I know a lot of people are the opposite.
Yeah.
They prefer plastic with plant-based and metal with wool. You know, it's one of those things, like people are like, well, which needle is the best? The needle that you enjoy knitting with.
Correct.
I mean, I'm going to tell you it's Chowgoo for me, but I have people that try Chowgoo and they're like, they hate it.
No.
That's why we sell Likes, you know, and other brands. So find what works for you. Yes, that does mean you have to invest a little bit. But with these, it's $4. So, I mean,
give it a try.
Give it a try for $4. You can waste $4 real quick. Okay. So now,
let's go through the yummy stuff.
So I said Spincycle earlier, and we got in another box of Spincycle. So this was fun because we got in 5 different colors of Dream State, and then I don't know.
Oh my
10?
goodness! 3, 6, 9, 10
10-ish.
plus the Wilder.
Colors in
Dyed in the Wool.
Dyed in the Wool. Wow, my brain today.
It's Monday.
It's Monday. So let's get started.
Okay.
So Dream State, of course, is the worsted DK. Love this. So this is Purse First. If you like purples, this is for you.
And can't go wrong here.
Bad egg.
Bad egg.
So this is the first time we've gotten bad egg on Dream State, and it is fabulous. And then we got in Dear Diary. Devilish Grin. And then another new to us color. This is Perfect Crime.
Oh, and that Perfect Crime.
Look at that.
Oh, I'm telling you, that it is.
It is really good.
I only saw it on the computer screen, and seeing it in person, it's like, oh, wow, that's
know.
great. Well, shall we start with some of the dyed and the wool colors then?
Grab
All
some of
right,
those.
let's go with. Why do you give me the ones with the names that are hard?
You grabbed that one.
I know.
It's
but
very easy.
We have this pronunciation war going. Wololo,
Yes.
but trying to say wololo for me without going whoa 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 whoa. This has got like rusts, a little bit of teal blue running through it, some a little bit of it goes almost almost
Burgundy?
a mauve burgundy.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is really striking. I like that. That's a very, very good combination.
It is. We also got back Every Rose. So Every Rose is one that this is probably one of the last times we'll see it. They
It's
are
going to be
retiring.
retired.
And I will say this batch, we got a bunch of it in. All the ones with the heavy blues have already been bought, not by me, don't worry. But we've got a couple that have this really deep green teal streak through them that is really pretty.
That is pretty. And then the Meadows, which is a mint green, turquoisey, little bit of gray, I guess.
Almost sage,
Almost
kind of.
sage. Very pretty color.
Then we got Valley Girl, and this is the most popping skein of Valley Girl. So even a touch of yellow and gold, and then the fuchsia, and then the bright, bright electric blue. Fun.
And then Lapis. I mean, how do you go wrong with that? It's mostly blue, which thrills me to no end, but it's got just a little bit of burgundy going through there.
Yep, a little bit of burgundy.
And the darker and lighter shades of blue. And I think this is absolutely gorgeous.
Then we've got Wild Horses. I will say this batch of Wild Horses has an exceptional amount of green in it, which is really pretty. But this is what I used in my Ziggy Triangle. So it's kind of autumnal vibes as well.
Is this the last skein of this?
There's two skeins
Two
left.
skeins left of this. Okay, this one is called Double Trouble. This is your very definitely purple with the yellow and cream running through it.
LSU fans.
LSU fans, grab quick
Yep.
because it's perfect.
Then we've got more of the tonal collection. This is Scranton. This is great to add in, this would be real pretty for a shift.
It would be. That would be perfect.
That'd be
I
real
love
fun.
that. That's great. And then Kyoto, which is a lavender with, it's a tonal lavender. That's the way I would describe it.
Yeah.
So that's Kyoto.
Then I grabbed, again, that skein of Wilder, which is in the dark gray. We do have that in sweater quantities available.
And then this one. This is an orange. There is no other way to describe it other than saying it's orange. It is called Sweetwater. But you know what I want to do?
What?
Look at how that offsets
That
with like the
pops.
teals. I mean, that is a great pop. I got my eyes on that one.
So those are the new colors of Spincycle. We also are waiting on boxes from Sandnes Garn that should be delivered later this week. Excuse me. Where else? We've got a couple other boxes coming in.
Lots of stuff coming in.
Of course, LYS Day is coming up.
Right.
If you are local to the area and are coming in for either you have a northern spring break or something like that, it just is wild to me that there's spring break right now because spring break was
A month
last
ago
month
for us.
But anyway, if you're coming into town for that or the Easter holidays, we will be closed Easter Monday. But we'll have regular hours for Friday and Saturday leading up to Easter. So just make your plans accordingly.
Right.
And then LYS Day, you do not want to miss out because we have a mini trunk show from Ritual Dyes. We have, and they're sending some moon belt bags.
Ooh.
Very cool. And yarn, obviously. Obviously. We're also having a fabulous trunk show from Rochelle. She's coming down from Moondrake. She is actually going to be here, and I think we're going to have the trunk show in time to have festivities on Friday and on Saturday.
Oh, wonderful.
So, because I know a lot of people, especially around here, so Saturday, the 26th, of course, is LYS Day. But rudely enough, it's also the Ironman in town. So I know that affects a lot of people with the traffic and the road closures and everything. So that's why we have done our best to hopefully everything will be here for Friday as well. If you are one of those people affected in the Woodlands with the triathlon, Ironman, whatever it is.
Whatever that.
The sportsy thing.
The sports thing.
And it's also the Chevron Open in the Woodlands. So they like scheduled all
of this
the
at one time.
The same weekend. So that's the golf thing, that's the runny, bikey, swimmy thing.
So if you're not into sports, get out of the Woodlands and come see us.
Yes, exactly. Leave the Woodlands. Do not go there. Do not enter. Right. And come to the yarn store. Who knows what else is going on that weekend. Right. But
one thing about it, we have plenty of parking.
We have plenty of parking. We will have all sorts of goodies. I'm going to bake something. I don't know what yet.
I don't know what I'm going to do. You know, I threatened those little sandwiches.
You did threaten sandwiches.
Yeah, I may do those.
We may have some sandwiches.
I'm going to look through my recipe box and come up with some little treats that I haven't made in quite a while because it's time.
It's time.
It's time.
It's time to do that. So we will have those happening Friday and Saturday, so the 25th and 26th.
Right.
If you are not in the area, but you happen to be out in Central Texas, the Seguin Yellow Rose Fibre Festival or Fibre Fiesta, I think they call it Fibre Fiesta, is happening in Seguin same weekend, so Friday, Saturday, and Josh will have a booth with Red Stag Fibre. So if you're in that area or you're driving and swing by that, swing up here. I mean, you can mix and match where your little vacation goes. So hopefully you'll come see us, and if not, I'm going to try to get the trunk shows on the website, but if not, you can always send us a message. We've got somebody on the phones to either call and we can ship out if you are not local or can't make it in, but consider us your local yarn store. Right. We also, they arrived the other day, we have a free gift with purchase, which is going to be fabulous, and we will put those in online orders as well. It'll be free gift with $50 purchase. So
all kinds of fun coming up.
Absolutely.
Looking forward to it.
Yes. Have a great day, guys. We'll see you on the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.